Hey guys, I'm cmasupra, and welcome to another Company of Heroes gameplay commentary. There's two things I want to talk about in this one. The first thing is Company of Heroes 2 was announced. Yay! This game came out in 2006, and now in 2012, Company of Heroes 2 was announced, so 6 years later it's announced. I don't know when it's going to come out, but it got announced, and that happened a few weeks ago, really. There's a lot of news on it. Just to sum up what I've found about the news is that it's like a mix between Company of Heroes and Men of War. And if you've never played Men of War, you are missing out on a very good RTS game that not very many people play. Probably because it has a steep learning curve. Once you get over that learning curve, it's really fun, but it has a steep learning curve. So, anyways, Company of Heroes 2 was announced. From what I've seen, it seems like they're mainly focusing on single player right now, and that's probably because single player is harder to make than multiplayer because of all the scripting that has to be done for each map and the number of maps that have to be made. So that's understandable. Multiplayer doesn't take nearly as long to make for an RTS game like this. I don't really know much about it in terms of details. I just read about it and summarized it in my head, and I just remembered the summary. The second thing I want to talk about in this game is keeping your units alive. This was requested by someone in a private message, so I figured it was a good topic to talk about. And this game demonstrates it quite well, although I'm pretty sure lots of games would demonstrate it pretty well, because if you don't keep your units alive, there's no chance of you winning unless your opponent just really, really sucks. So keeping your units alive. This is going to be like why to keep your units alive, how to keep your units alive, when to keep your units alive, I guess all the time. Who, what, when, where, why. I guess I covered them all that make any sense for this topic. Oh yeah, and how. The 5 W's and an H. They really need to change how to a different word so it can be 6 W's. It'd be easier to teach in school, and it would make more sense. Anyways, I'm playing as Americans. My opponent is clearly a Panzer elite, as you can see here. I was going to capture his fuel to draw him into this area, and that way my engineers could have free reign on the left side to capture points. And it worked. Both his units are over here because I was attacking his fuel, and I'm sending 3 units at him to try and kill him. Although I take the engineers and riflemen one rifle squad away to do things while my other rifle squad retreats. I would really like to kill that Kettenkrad. Yeah, I really wanted to kill that Kettenkrad just because if you kill a Kettenkrad, Panzer Elite has very little chance of staying as strong as they are, because that's 165 manpower down the drain, that's time down the drain. They can't make Panzer Grenadiers while a Kettenkrad is being made. And that's time they're not capping points. Unless they're capping with Panzer Grenadiers, which capture really, really slow. I think Riflemen have a 1.25 capture rate. Panzer Grenadiers have a 0.75 capture rate, so they are really, really slow. That might have changed at some point, but I'm pretty sure it hasn't. And if it did change, it wouldn't have changed by much. So that's approximately their capture rates for how quickly they can capture points. Okay, so I decided to probe with this rifle squad. It wasn't obvious, but that's what I had decided to do. I didn't just run in and say, oh, there's enemies, run back. No, I was probing with the rifleman because I had a feeling that his units were right there. And so now that I know where his units are, I can just go around his units and he can't do anything about it. Like capturing that center strategic point. And then capturing his cutoff point. And then when I'm capturing his cutoff point, I can take the rifle squad on my right and flank around him. Now, I did say that one of the things I want to talk about in this game is keeping your units alive. Yeah, I have done nothing. I've not done any talking about that. So let's start now. Okay, so why do you keep your units alive? Well, it's cheaper to reinforce a squad than it is to buy a new one. I'm pretty sure it even says that in the tutorial. I don't know, I haven't played the tutorial since 2006, but I'm pretty sure it says it in the tutorial, at least for the original game. Um, yeah, it's cheaper to reinforce than it is to buy a new squad. Let's go with Riflemen. Riflemen, you can lose up to 5 men before you lose the squad, and it's 27 manpower to reinforce each squad member. So 5 times 27, I gotta do this in my head, 135 manpower. So it costs 135 manpower to reinforce a rifle squad completely, and it costs 270 manpower to buy a new one. Is that exactly half? Yeah, I think that's exactly half. So it costs half as much manpower to reinforce a rifle squad than it does to make a new rifle squad. So that's why you want to keep your units alive and reinforce them. So if you save that manpower, say for 2 rifle squads who lose 5 men each, you just save 270 manpower versus buying 2 new rifle squads. And now with that 270 manpower, you can buy a whole nother rifle squad. And so you'll have 1 more rifle squad than if you hadn't reinforced. And if you have 1 more rifle squad, you have more firepower. If you have more firepower, then you can pretty much overwhelm your opponent. Because firepower is a big deal. Without firepower, you can't do much of anything except run around and hope you don't get shot. Yeah. Ooh, do I get his Kettenkrad here? I know I try. I can't remember if I do. I recorded this last night. Not last night. Yesterday evening. I think I do. It's a damaged engine, so I'm probably going to get it. When a Kettenkrad gets a damaged engine, it goes as fast as any unit that walks. So as long as your unit that's chasing it is in range of the Kettenkrad's pretty much screwed with a damaged engine. So I've explained why you should keep units alive. It's a huge manpower gain if you keep your units alive. Next is to explain how to keep your units alive. There's a really good piece at not the end of this game, but close to the end of the game, where it shows a good example of when to keep your units alive. You'll see this rifle squad's getting decimated. Just retreat them, because if they stayed even like 2 seconds longer, they probably would have completely died. Instead of losing 4 men, which is 27 times 4, 108, I think? I don't know. We'll go with 108. So I lost 108 manpower instead of losing all 270 manpower. So when your units are close to dying, that's when you retreat them. If they're in green cover, you don't have to worry as much. If they're at long range to the enemy, you don't have to worry as much, because when you hit the T key, they will not take nearly as much damage when they're in cover and when they're retreating, if they're far away from the enemy, because, well, the enemy can't hit them. Their accuracy is too low. And there's an invisible sticky grenade. You stick a Ketten, the Ketten goes cloaked, and then you have an invisible, or no, it's not an invisible sticky grenade. What would you call that? I don't know what you call that. A floating, haunted sticky grenade. Yeah, this guy called me a faggot because I was beating him, but let's ignore that for now. I just said woohoo. I mean, if you're gonna be mean to me, I'm just gonna make fun of it. Or have fun with it, not make fun of it. I might make fun of it too. Yeah. Anyways, if you pay attention to when I'm retreating in this game, it'll teach a lot, I think. Because you'll see I retreat when my rifles are either screwed, guaranteed in a fight. I'll retreat even if they have 6 men, I'll still retreat. Because if they're guaranteed to lose the fight, it's not worth fighting the fight. Even if you kill most of their guys, if you're going to lose the fight, don't fight it. Don't spend time fighting it unless you're trying to stall, but that's a whole nother thing. So we're just going to say don't spend time fighting a battle you know you're going to lose. And here I start typing in Spanish, because this guy seems to know Spanish. So I was like, okay, I'm going to say something in Spanish. Eres un pendejo cuando no gana. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, but I don't even know if I got the words right. But if you don't know what that says, you don't need to know what that says. If you do know what that says, you're probably laughing right now. Yeah, you'll see this rifle squad, I hit retreat. I was trying to sticky the armored car, but he got away too fast. My rifles were taking damage, so I was just like, retreat before you lose any more men. And they barely got out of there. Learning when to retreat is actually kind of difficult. It took me like a year to figure out. And I just lost that engineer squad. But yeah, it took me like a year to figure out when to retreat. Because you have to be able to predict how a battle is going to go. And Company of Heroes, that's kind of hard to do because of the luck factor in this game. This game has a lot of luck in it. Not to an extreme amount, but most RTS games have zero luck in them. So the fact that this has any luck makes it kind of hard to predict how a battle is going to go. I mean, this one's obvious. 2 Panzer Grenadiers versus 3 rifle squads. I'm pretty sure the 3 rifle squads are going to win. But in a fight like riflemen versus an armored car, cover matters, specific position matters, your stupid men running out of cover matters, how many bullets actually hit the armored cars matters, how many bullets actually hit your riflemen matters. There is so many luck factors in this game, so it's hard to predict the outcome of a battle unless you just keep playing a lot and you learn, okay, in this situation, my rifles. Well, I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna talk about the situation on the screen. So I had 3 rifle squads firing at an armored car, and my rifle squads have BARs. My rifle squads would have won if the armored car had not backed up, because 1 BAR rifle squad will beat an armored car, especially if rifles are in green cover. 3 rifle squads with BARs are guaranteed to beat the armored car. Okay. Well, here's the example I wanted to talk about. You see, I have these 3 rifle squads selected, and my enemy is not focus firing on me, so none of them are taking especially a large amount of damage. They're all taking about the same amount of damage. I hit retreat on them all at the same time, and that's because they all had like 1 or 2 guys left. It's like, okay, all of you get out of there. Maybe at least 2 squads will survive, because I accidentally hit retreat a little too late. Because I was so close in with him. I was losing men so fast I was not able to keep up. But I was also so close in with him that when I hit T, I am still so close that he can still damage me because he has enough accuracy to do that. But once you get far enough away, he loses enough accuracy to really be able to kill you without luck. So, as you saw, you should retreat when you know you're going to lose the battle. Like, I thought I was going to win that battle. I had so many rifles there, and he had so little forces, but he managed to win it. Somehow. I don't know how, but he did. So you have to be ready to retreat at any time, because you don't know when the battle might turn on you. That does not mean sit there with your screen watching the battle. That is something you never want to do in Company of Heroes. I mean, I did it for years because I liked how it looked. I liked the graphics in Company of Heroes back in 2006. I guess 2008 would be the end of that. 2 years. But, yeah, don't just sit and watch the battle. You see, this M8 is going to be attacking different units, but while I tell him to attack, I am also checking in other places to make sure everything's going as planned. But as I'm saying this, I'm not actually doing it. It's probably because I have nothing else to be doing, actually. Yeah, because all my units are reinforcing, but they do need to move because I think they are reinforced. Anyways, don't do as I did, do as I say. When you are fighting a battle, you should not be focusing on it like this. You should be doing other things like this, yeah. See, I'm moving my rifle squad as the battle with the M8 is in. I was moving my rifle squad as my M8 was fighting a separate battle. And my M8's still fighting, but I'm doing things with the forces that were in my base. And I'm moving them around, because I know my M8 is not any immediate danger. So I can just let my M8 do its thing. I don't have to focus on it too much. I just have to check up on it every once in a while to make sure that it's not in danger and that's actually doing something. Because I need to make sure that it's actually damaging the opponent like I want. And if it's not, I'll move it to where it is, and then I'll go focus on something else. So, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, don't just focus on the battle, because you have to just keep playing Company of Heroes to get an idea of how each battle's gonna go. Oh yeah, he tried to drop hack me. Yeah. I was wondering what was happening. Yeah, he tried to drop hack me. Oh well. So anyways, like I said, the best advice I can give to learning how a battle's gonna go is playing the game over and over and seeing how each battle goes, but don't focus too much on that one battle or else you'll totally lose map control. Unless you are just trying to learn how battles go. But I don't suggest doing that, because you're going to lose every single game if you try to do that. But yeah, just keep playing the game, watch how battles go. I think I'm repeating myself now because there's something else I want to say, but I can't think of what it was. Oh yeah, retreat when you know you're going to lose the battle. That's what it was going to say. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. So retreat when you know you're going to lose the battle, but to know when you're going to lose the battle, you have to just keep playing and understand how each battle's going to go. There we go. Thanks for watching.